Hello everyone, it's Shanna. Welcome to my channel. On today's video, we're going to be working with some new product from Spellbinders, and it is the Classic Mouse Graduation Set, and it includes a press and foil plate. So I'll just give you a quick overview of the product. We have got the Classic Mouse Graduation Sentiments, and it is a press and foil plate plus a die set. And then we have got the Classic Mouse Graduation Set. Now this one, you don't even need the other die set because it has all of the body parts and pieces. You've got the body, the face, the tail, the arms. You've got everything you need there, which is nice. Now I have got all of my pieces die cut out. We're going to just start working on our Classic Mouse Graduation die set. There are 22 pieces to this die set. I've got all of my card bases and my sentiments and everything ready, and I've got all of my elements die cut out. And so we're just going to get to assembling. I've got two of our Classic Mouse people in here. One is going to have a little eyelash and the other one is not. So we're going to have a girl and a guy. Now I've just brought in my little Dollar Tree little cutting mat. It's just like a little, I don't know, just a little thing that you can cut veggies on or whatever. And I laid it down on my glass mat because we're going to be doing a lot of gluing, and I thought I would probably have a gluey mess. And I did, but it mostly got on my fingers because we use this little mat to do our gluing. So this little piece is the mouth, and it looks kind of like a, I don't know, half moon or something. You just put a little glue on there and lay it behind there. And then you've got the base layer of the face, which you die cut in black or gray, depending on what you're creating. And then I did white for the facial elements, and it just makes our classic mouse come to life. So there we go. We've got the head of the mouse. And for this one, we're going to be making the girl first. I'm bringing in my craft tools from Spellbinders with a wax tip to pick that up because I can't seem to get a hold of anything in that tray. And we're just going to put the eyelash on there, and this is going to create our girl mouse. And then we've got the body. Now I do have, in a minute I'll think about it, I've got the instruction guide, and there's kind of an order that you put it together in. I don't do the first one that way, but I do the second one. I'm looking for it to bring it in and show you. And here it is. I've just printed it off. To print this off, go to the Spellbinders website, go to the product page, look at the pictures below the product, scroll through there and find the picture that has the assembly guide on it. And once you find that and click on it, it'll make that kind of the product picture, and then click on it again, right click, and select open up in a new window, and then it'll give you a new window and you can print from that window. I've had subscribers ask me how to do that, so I'm kind of reiterating how you do it, because if you just try to click on the picture there, it's not going to print out right. But if you open it up in a new window, it will print out right for you. The other thing you might choose to do is sometimes I will select 5 by 7 on them when I print out just to make them a little bit smaller. I don't think I did on this one because I wanted to be able to see a really good big picture of it. So I've laid a little glue down on there, and this robe has actually 5 pieces to it. You've got the part that almost looks like a dress, almost like a sleeveless dress, and then you've got these pieces here, and they're like the robe, the closure, like the closure in the front. They give it that layer where it comes together, and you've kind of got like a seam, in between the two pieces. And just like the robe, the graduation robe. And we're going to get this laid down. And then the other 2 pieces, actually there's more pieces because then you have 2 sleeve pieces and then you've got 2 cuff pieces. So in total, you have got 7 pieces, I think, because you have the 2 front pieces, the arm pieces, the cuff pieces, that's 6, and then the dress looking piece. And so what you're going to want to do is put on I'm zooming in so you can see it. You're going to want to put the top part of the sleeve on, and you're going to want to tuck your arm in between there and put the cuff on behind the arm. So that's what I'm going to do here. And I'm not going in perfect order in assembling this, but it all will come together eventually. So I'm going to give it a little push, and then we're going to put that arm underneath. And then this one, I'm actually going to glue it on top. First I put the glue on there, but I'm I'm going to realize that I want the glue off of there, and then I want to put it on top and kind of make like the shoulder. So I'm going to rearrange it here and put it on the top of my robe. So I'm just cleaning it off with my fingers. I was eyeballing it there. We're going to get a little glue laid down on there, and then we'll put the sleeve on the top of the robe there. And then that will work best. Now, if you're going to use some of the embellishments for like the kind of the tassel, not the tassels. This has a V-neck, and then it's got this kind of the stripes. I don't know what the technical terms are for the graduation robe. It's been a long time since I graduated from high school and college, and I can't remember the formal pieces for them. Anyway, so here I'm putting the cuffs of the sleeve on, and they're going to go underneath there. What I'm doing is I'm kind of eyeballing how it goes. I've got the one arm in there, and I'm going to tuck it up in there and then push it in. And then we're going to add, I'm kind of eyeballing this one. We're going to add the other arm, and then we are going to stick the arm in. Now, I'll tell you, the curved edge, the debossed curved edge on that little cuff goes underneath the sleeve. And then it'll line up nice, and it makes a nice dimensional sleeve. And you can see we've got a nice cuff there, and it looks like we've got a piece behind our arm and in front of our arm, and it looks really nice. So anyway, if you want to use the V-neck, you can put it on here. But if you want to use the decorative strips that go along the kind of the zippered area of it, you want to put that on maybe before you put your arms down on there. Now, these are the shoe pieces. On these mouse sets, you've used all of them that I have like a forward foot and a backward foot, and the backward foot, the shoe is not complete, it's a partial. And so when you look at these pieces, they look kind of weird. Now right now I'm assembling the full shoe, and then I'll assemble the partial one, and they just kind of nudge up together. Now I don't have enough room really to lay all the decorative elements on the shoe. I lined that V-neck up right with the debossed detail that is on the mouse, but I think if you pushed it up higher, you could show a little bit more of your shoes. So you might consider doing that if you've got this set. Excuse me. So I'm just going to tuck that shoe that is behind, and you'll just see the toe of it. And I've chosen red and white for her shoes. She's got a red sole and a white shoe. And then she's got some little straps. These shoes are almost like Mary Jane's because they've got a little strap here that's going to go across it. And that's what I've got, these two little teeny tiny pieces. And so I'll get a little glue on there. And I'm just lifting the robe up and just tucking those in so you can see the edge of those. But you're just going to barely see them. And we just had a storm roll through. And all of the storm alarms were going off. The city's whistle went off 3 different times, and our storm radios kept going off and everything. And we really didn't have much of anything. I looked at the radar, and it looked like that storm split right in half, and our city was right in between the half of it. So we didn't get anything, which was wonderful. And now we have got beautiful sunshine. And we've got all of the little animals, the crickets and everybody making noise now because we had just a tiny dab of rain. The weather radar actually said in 4 minutes you're going to have large hail, but we didn't get it. So that was nice. It just, like I said, that storm just split right in half and just went around us. So we're very thankful and blessed for that. If you've watched me for very long, you know that my daughter's house that is probably a half a mile behind me, maybe not even that far, was hit by a tornado a couple years ago, and her neighbors were destroyed. Now, her house had quite a bit of damage, but wasn't destroyed like the neighbors were. In fact, her husband had to go over and get the neighbor out of the house. But anyway, so we're thankful and blessed that that storm just split and went right around us. So I have put the hat together, the graduation cap, and I have put a gold tassel on there, and I think it's super cute. Her little eyelashes look cute poking out behind there. And I like to give the girl the curled tail. And we're going to get her assembled. Now, here are some of the decorative pieces, and I'm not going to use those on her. So for her, I have just decided to use just the V-neck. There's like, you get those tassels that, if you're high honors and all that and everything, and they do have a die for like the sashes too. We're just going to go with V-neck, and I'm going to go ahead and assemble the boy classic mouse here, and we've got the mouthpiece. I'm using all of the same colors here. The schools around here are red and white, red and black, and then the other card I'm going to do is red and gray. I'm going to use some Spellbinders gray. I've got a college graduation card that I need to do. This particular one here with the classic mouse boy is going to be a graduation card for preschool for my grandson. He is going to graduate from preschool. He's going to go to kindergarten next year. And so this is going to be his little graduation card. And it's going to be super cute. I don't know who's going to get the little girl mouse. I did have a gal at church message me today and tell me that she needed a couple of cards. And then my daughter needed the college one that I'm going to do on this video as well. So I probably have one card for the gal at church, and then I'll need to make another one. And I might be pretty good. We're kind of out of that graduation mode that that you're in when you have kids in school and stuff. We're kind of out of that now. So I don't know that I'm going to need a bunch of cards, but who knows? Sometimes we have some float in that we don't expect. But this is a great set for making graduation cards. And once you do one assembly of it, then you can kind of do it pretty quickly. So I got these. This video is less than 30 minutes. I've got 3 cards, but of course I did all the die cutting separately, and I went ahead and did the glimmering or the foiling, I guess, off camera. I've done some foiling recently on my channel, and I thought, well, I can skip doing that and save some time and just do the assembly. The assembling of the dies is certainly always fun. And so I thought we would just show most of that and then just do our glimmering and our die cutting off camera. The thing that is nice about these, and I will tell you I use them, is you can use the Scout on all these dies. I use the Scout for this whole thing. And the other thing that's nice is most of it, I used my scrap cardstock for my scrap bin. I think I did have to pull in, the panels that I used, I pulled in fresh cardstock, but I tried to use every little bit and piece of poppy that I had and of my white, and then I brought in some gold scrap that I had and used it. And so these dies are small enough that you can use your scraps for that and come together, come up with everything you need. I had used a bunch of poppy on that poppy song video that I did the other day, and so I had several red poppy remnants, and so I was able to pull them into this, and it worked out quite nicely. I'm going to pair some additional die sets with this. I brought in a nested frame set that is new, and I've also brought in another sentiment set that is new, in addition to the classic mouse sentiment set, that press and foil that we're going to use. But I'm going to get this guy assembled, and I'm putting the cuffs on again, just like we did with the first one. And you can see I put the sash down on this one as opposed to how I did just the V-neck on the girl classic mouse. And then his shoes, I put hers red, and I'm just going to layer another black layer on top of the black base of the body, and then I did the soles and the toes of his shoes white, and then he's got some little shoelaces. When you look closely at these, and I think I will show you, they almost look like some little Chuck Taylor tennis shoes. Super cute little set of shoes. And I am drinking some water. Right before the storm kind of came in, my dad and I sat on the front porch for a long time and just watched it roll in. It was getting windy and dark, and we sat there for quite a long time and just watched it roll in. And in doing that, I think it's got my allergies going a little bit here, so got me some water, trying to keep my throat from drying out. And here we go. I'm just going to layer these up. You can see from the toes of these that they do kind of look like those old Chuck Taylor shoes. And then you've got the little shoestring that makes it even look more like it. So again, for the back foot, it's partial, and then this is the front foot, and it's super cute. And you can see I got another little V-neck laying there. I'm not going to use that. And I don't even think I used kind of tassels for this. This is preschool graduation, and we don't have those high honors and all that glitzy, glammy stuff here. We do have little diplomas though, and I'm going to bring those in too and get those assembled. This here is the bow that's going to go on the front shoe. I die cut 2 of them out, but I'm not going to mess with the half shoe. I'm just going to lay it down on the full shoe. Lift the robe up and kind of tuck it into where you'll be able to see a little, half of the string. If you want to see more of your shoes, raise your robe up a little bit higher. I lined it right up with the V line in it. And I'm going to assemble the cap for this one. And we'll just get it lined up on there. There's good dimension on this cap. They've got some debossed detail in there, and it really gives you, the look of a graduation cap. And then I just took some scrap gold and I die cut out a tassel for the hat, just like the cap, just like I did hers. And we're going to give it a good press and get it stuck down on there, kind of clean off that glue. At this point, my fingers are just full of glue. And I don't know if you've noticed, but I got a wild hair this morning, and I have a mini flight of Dazzle nail polish, and I colored each finger with the colors in the flight. It's a floral, I forget what it's called. It's like a floral garden set of fingernail polish. And I just opened up each bottle and painted each finger with one of the colors. And I've got a very colorful set of nails. Now, I wasn't thinking clearly. I've got an appointment later this week in which I think I would prefer to have less colorful nails. So I'm going to have to redo them pretty quickly. But anyway, we'll get to see them for a couple days. So here we've got their diplomas. And I first die cut out a red tie for the diploma, and then when I decided to bring in the gold tassel, I thought, let's add a gold tie to our diploma. And I'm going to bring in some gold for the one for my grandson. I'm going to use the foiled sentiment that says "So proud of you," and it has gold on there. We'll bring some gold stars in for that. And I've also got that collection of Essentially Yours sentiments, and there's a congrats in it, and I'm going to use it as well. So I've got a red poppy card base. I thought I rarely do colored card bases. I thought for this one, I'm going to do that. So I am using poppy for my card base. I've got black, and I'm using the playful stitched panels, and I'm using those for both of these cards. And I've got a white panel for this one, and we're just going to have red, black, and white. And I think it's going to really pair nicely. We've got all of our colors matchy-matchy. And we're going to line these up. These playful stitched panels, you don't have to worry if you get them layer them exactly right because they're playful. So we're just going to get some glue on here. I'm not using any foam on this. I'm just going to get it laid down on here. And this is going to be the little card for my grandson. And I am going to bring in some stars that I die cut out. This was from the stork set that I used the other day. It had a little star die set in it, and I just grabbed it really quick and just die cut out a bunch of gold stars. And I thought instead of adding embellishments, I would glue these stars on there, and I think it'd be super fun little filler for that area. So we'll just give them a press. And then I have got this "So Proud of You" sentiment right here. And I'm trying to figure out where I'm going to put it. And then I decide I'm going to use this on the outside. We're going to use the congrats from the Essentially Yours sentiments. And I'll put it on the inside of my card. But I'm going to use the "So Proud of You" for the outside. I've been trying to finish both the insides and the outsides of my cards a little bit. So I will finish off this one. I don't think I'd add anything to the other two because they're not cards that I'm going to give away, but somebody else. And I need to figure out what I'm going to put in them. So I've got my congrats. We just used black shadow and red poppy congrats. And since I used a colored card base, I'm going to bring another one of those playful stitched panels in so that I've got an area to write my little message to my little grandson. And I'm going to put this congrats on the inside of the card base, and we're going to get it finished off. I'm just showing you the die set that I used for that. I will link all the materials in the description box below. I'm showing you the sentiment die set as well. It's called Essentially Yours. I'll link it up too. And that Essentially Yours die set, it's got best wishes, get well soon, thank you, warm sympathy, congrats, hello friend, thinking of you, and happy birthday. It's a great set. So I took a little peek at my So Proud of You, and I thought I need to layer it up. It wasn't thick enough, and I wanted a little bit of dimension but did not want to use foam, so I brought in a couple more die cut pieces of white, and I'm just going to layer it up, and we're going to have a good sturdy So Proud of You. And it's a playful little, the proud is kind of scripty, but the so and the of you are just kind of a playful sentiment, and I think it looks really cute. And it'll kind of tie my tassel on my cap, my tie on my diploma, and my stars all together with the foiled So Proud of You sentiment. And then when you open it up on the inside, we have got congrats, and I think it looks really nice. So that'll finish off that card. Just giving it a good press and getting everything laid down on there. I'm real pleased with it. I think he'll like it. The boys like my cards. They love the little animals and the different things that I create. Now for this one, I'm going to use my white hammer mill card base for my bottom layer, and I'm just going to lay a black panel of the playful stitched panels, and then I'm going to do red and white, and we're just going to have 3 layers of panels, and then we'll get our little girl mouse laid down on here and create another graduation card. And this will come together pretty quickly. And then I have got another, you can see in that dish there, off to the side, I have got another congratulations or congrats sentiment laying in there. And this time I'm going to do a red base and a bottom. And I just realized I did not put my tail on my mouse, my boy mouse. And so I'm stopping with a girl mouse, and I'm getting that on there. I wasn't paying attention. I was watching, there was a Brutus Monroe video on, and I was watching it as I was assembling it, and so I wasn't really paying attention. And then once I got ready to do her, the video was over, and I looked down, and I was like, I didn't put the boy mouse tail on there, so I wanted to make sure I got it laid down on there. And we're just going to take and create another congrats sentiment. I'm not going to put a sentiment on the outside of this one, but we will add this to the inside, and then we will have a congrats, and then whomever uses this card can just write their little message on the inside, and we'll have this congrats in there. And we've just got the little girl mouse on the outside. I was considering putting it on the outside, and I thought, nope, let's just stick it on the inside. And I could add some embellishments to this. I've got some little black gems. I think I might do that now that I'm thinking of it. I didn't do it before I took the pictures, but it's something I could do. Now we have got the classic mouse sentiments, and it has got a nice tassel that you foil. It has So Proud of You, class of, congrats grad, bravo, you did it. And you've got shadow layered numbers, and you've also got a little die that will die cut out a cap, and it actually has a little loop in it that you could make like on a tassel or a tag or whatever. I'll actually cut those loops off for this card and use them just as decorative elements. So I have got 2026 that I've got assembled already. I assembled everything, and I'm getting them laid out here. I'm going to lay all of my elements out so that you can see how I'm going to position them. Then we'll come back in and glue them. I want to make sure I get them lined up really nice. Right now I'm looking to see what cardstock I used on this. I believe I did continue to use the poppy, but I've got the dark gray anchor. Is it anchor? Yes, the dark gray anchor cardstock that I used for the back of it, and that is because the college that this card is for, it uses a charcoal gray, a red, and then they usually do have some white on there, but I'm using gold just because this is a master's degree card, and I wanted to have some bling. So I've got the 2026. You can see I've got 3 of those little caps that I die cut out. They're going to be like my embellishments. And then I've got another sentiment that says you did it, and I have the class of. And so I'm going to have you did it, and then class of 2026. And we've got our tassel, and then we've got those little caps, the graduation caps that are going to be my embellishment pieces. And this is going to come together pretty quickly. And I think it's going to be a nice card. And this one my daughter is going to give to, I think her intern is graduating. I think that's who it is. I'm not for sure. Anyway, so we've got 2026. I'm using that T ruler to just try and get them lined up somewhat straight. And I'm going to get my class of laid down on there. And I die cut out 3 layers of cardstock for it, so it's a good thick sentiment. And those, the numbers are nice and thick too, because both of those were die cut out of Spellbinders cardstock, which is heavy cardstock. And so we've got some dimension there without using any foam. And then I've got You Did It, and I've got 3 layers of it. I just used the gold foil from Spellbinders to do that. It glimmered beautifully on the Spellbinders cardstock. And I'm just giving it a good press. I kept pushing that down and it was popping up that I thought I needed more glue. And then when I went to add more glue, it had finally secured. So here on these, like I said, I took and cut that little like hoop off of the top of the cap. It kind of looks like a charm, you know, because it's got the little loop on there that you could make it a charm. But I cut those off because I just wanted them to be embellishment pieces and get them laid down on here. And so I'm just giving everything a press and getting them all laid down on there. And I'm telling you, my fingers are a glue-y mess. So I've got my little BFF bracelet that I got for my granddaughter's birthday. And we have got this class of 2026 card pretty much put together. So I'm just going to bring in my cards. We've got 3 of them. We've got 2 of the Classic Mouse, and then we've got the Classic Mouse Sentiment card. And here are some pictures. If you like them, please hit that like button. And if you haven't subscribed, I would love to have you subscribe. Thanks for watching, and here's a couple more videos you might check out.